Okay, here we are. So create a database called this one. One table, it has one table called users, having the following schema, so we have 4 fields of this type, and then create a new project that manages the users list through the following graphical user interface. Okay. So let's go to Netbeans and let's start doing those things. Okay, so first let's talk a little about the database. So this is the services, and I believe you have seen the video. So you have the javaDB. We'll start by connect. Sorry, my PC is slow today. So sorry, you start by start server. I have already started the server before I talk to you with Zoom. Then you need to create a database. So right click, create database. Shall I go through the steps or it's clear for you?
It's clear.
Okay, but let's do it double time just in case. I will not fill in the field, I'll just illustrate it for you. So you'll right click, create database, you'll put the database name, which is in this case DB, I don't know, it's a long name. Then you put whatever username you want, whatever password you want. Then you press OK. Okay. And a database will be added. In this case, I am creating this one. The name of the user, Khulud. I put it as Khulud. So this will be added for you after pressing OK. I will right click this and I will do connect. Okay. Then here, thank you. So you have watched the video and you have done well. So I will create the table. So good. This will be shown. You will put the name of the table. In this case, we asked you to create users that I have already created. Then you will put add column, add column, add column with the specific information that was provided for you. So eventually I will have something like this. I will have the users table with those attributes or column names, ID, first name, last name, and age. Okay. Now, if I want execute command, I will go here. Let me do what? Select. You have studied database course, right?
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
All of you. Perfect. So I will execute this. Here we are. So I have created already those information. So you could insert a record from here. You can enter some information, okay? By typing. Is it clear? You may need this in the project. So you can enter the information manually instead of entering a SQL query. Instead of using an SQL query, you could enter some information manually. So I could write 1, 2, 3 here, and then the first name, okay? Is it clear? So you could deal with it as a graphical user interface. So you could manipulate it. Anyway, I thought this was worth mentioning. Now, okay, so now everything is perfect. I have my databases, I am connected. So let's start doing the code, which is really Java. Now we'll go Java. So here we are. The design, you know how to create the design, like how to add a G-frame and all of these things, right? Those are buttons, those are text fields, those are labels. You rename them, and all of these things, I believe you are by this level familiar with. Okay.
Madam,
Yes, tell me.
how did we do ذيك add user كادر هذاك؟
There is a special label. Sorry, مش label, شنو سموه, like a panel. So this is, wait, JPanel1. I choose one type. I was playing with it. Yeah, titled border, this one. So with this titled border, you could, then we have created this design. Let's go to the coding. So I will go to the source. So far, nothing. Now, can you see this? Generally, what do we have? only init component that will be created automatically for us. Now in this case I will be adding another method. شنو وظيفة هذه المethod? It will connect me to the database. So what I am planning to do, I am willing when the user open the graphical user interface, which is in this case this one. So in this case, I put this inside the try, and we have one catch, which is SQL exception, just in case if you have any problem in your connection. And in this case, I am using the help of Java error.get message in order to get the message. Sorry. Now we have this get message to get some more information from Java regarding our exception. Now regarding the connection, as it's explained in the video, we have the host. By the way, this is a string name. It can be anything. Just we name it a host to put a meaningful name, but it can be anything. Username can be anything. Password can be any name. Now you add this. You go copy and paste. So you go to the services. We have this one. So you just let's go to rename. I will not rename. I will just copy and then paste it. Make sure that you remove the username because we don't need it here. The user will be this one. And the password, put the same password that you have put. Then we need to use a driver manager. Okay. Driver manager.get connection. We give it host, username, password, and this con. But con is declared where? I did create it as a global variable. So at the beginning of my class, very beginning, because I will need it all over my class. That's why. I will need it not only in connectDB method, I will need it in another methods. So that's why I have created as global. So we have connection con, and we have a statement stmt, and we have prepared the statement. I will check. So I will go down, down, down. Here we are. So get connection, then create a statement. So far, is it clear? So I have created a connection to my database, and I have created a statement. So I am ready to do any SQL query, whether add, insert, modify, or delete, or select. So let me go back. So let's do now one method at a time. I will return to my design so it will be more clear for you. I will start with add. Add action performed. What I will try in the add, first, of course, you need a try. Okay, whenever you are dealing with database, put the try and catch all the time, because it's full of exceptions. So you need Java in this. So just put it inside the try and try to handle the exceptions. Now, if id.getText is empty, can someone explain this for me, please? Let me choose. Ons, can you please explain what I am trying to do here?
I think we're checking if the field or all the fields are, they should not be empty.
Thank you.
But I think it's not and it's or.
Or, and you put the not one time. Why not? That's what you mean? Not. And then you open a bracket. You open bracket and then or. Like this? Yes.
Okay. Yes, yes.
Either one of those. I put this is easier for you. That one is shorter, but this is make more sense. I mean, not make more sense. It's easy to understand this. Not empty, not empty, not empty, not empty, and. So thank you. Yes, this is why we are using this. I am assuming all my fields are mandatory. I am assuming. So if you wanted them to make one of them as optional, like for example, the age, you remove it from here. So you don't put age, because in this case, I will do the checking. Otherwise, I will display something. So in my case, where is my else? So execution, all are mandatory. Let me show it to you while executed. So let me try to put like 88, whatever, like first name, whatever, and last name. And then let me keep the age empty. Let me go to add. Can you see? Fail to add, all fields are mandatory. So now I am using show message dialog, J option pane that I have explained last time. So I am here, sorry. I did use error message. So I have told you before, you can Google it because we have different options. We have error message, we have information message. In case we have error message, we mean by error message, it will show this symbol. Can you see this? So this is an error. We could have an information message. So let me continue. Here we are. So we are here. So I will take the ID that entered by the user, which is this one. I will take it from the text field. So in this case, I'm using integer.parseInt idtf. This is the name of my text field. .getText, and the same thing I will do for first name, last name, and for age. If it is integer, please don't forget to parse it. So far, nothing new. I'm creating a variable count. You'll see why. Now I need to execute an SQL query. By the way, in order to execute SQL query, we have two things. We have a statement, which is explained in the slides. So let me go to the. So we are talking about statement, right? So here we are, statement. We did not talk about prepared statement. Now, any statement, the thing is, it will be difficult to execute a query in database, especially add or insert. Why? لأنه in statement, how to use a statement, we define our SQL, which is in this case, for example, select star from workers. But in add, I need to add some variables. Can you see here? I am using, so in this case, I will be doing something like this. In case I will be trying with a statement, not prepared statement, then I will be doing something. Now, insert into user's value, then you close a quotation, then you add the name of your variable, which is ID that we have taken from the text field, then plus, comma. Can you see how many mistakes you can make? And okay, not to mention that you need to add a single quotation because SQL asked us to add a single quotation before any text value, any value to be inserted. Are you following, guys?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. So if you have a lot of free time, you may go with this one. It will work for you perfectly. Insert string SQL. And in this case, you will be using what? Statement, much prepared statement, and you'll use execute query like what we have done here. Now, in this example in the slides, it's good decision to use statement. Why? Can someone tell me why? Why is it good to use a statement, not prepared statement? In this example, Usama.
Because we are selecting.
Perfect, thank you. Who's this?
Arish.
Thank you, Arish. Yes, because we are selecting, so we don't have any variable from Java to use. So I don't need to use a plus, single quotation, and so on. So it's easy in this. That's why in this case I'm using prepared statement. So you can see here. Can you see my SQL statement? Insert into users values. I put then question mark, meaning what do you mean by question mark? A value, a variable to be used. Then we have another question mark, 3, 4. So it's depending on how many columns do you have. In this case, we are having 4 question marks because we have 4 columns. And then I will call prepared statement, give it the SQL, the string value. And then we are not done yet because we have a lot of question mark. So we need to define those. How to define? Simply we'll use prepare statement dot set int if it is an integer. And we put one ID, meaning my first question mark is my ID, is the ID, which is this value. Then the second question mark is the first name, so please provide this value. And third, the same, and fourth, the same. The last thing will be execute update. In this case, we have execute update. With prepare statement, we use execute update. Regarding the count, good question. Now execute update. When you use the prepared statement dot execute update, it will return an integer number. So if it returns 0, meaning your table was not affected. In other words, معناها the insert did not work. Nothing was inserted to your database. So this will be 0. Otherwise, it will return the number of how many rows were affected. In this case, ideally, it should be 1 row should be affected, right? So it should be greater than 0. You may write if count equals to 1. It will work as well. So in this case, I want to make sure my insertion was working. So how to make sure? If count was greater than 0, معناها a row was inserted. So I will display a message to the user like this. Let's try to do it and you will see. Now I will put any age and here I'll put a new ID. For example, let me add. The user was added successfully. Execute a query. We use it with a statement, not with prepared statement. Now I am dealing with another class, by the way, 2 different classes in Java. So prepared statement is class, اسم الكلاس شو in this case, its name is prepared statement. I will return back. So I have created different variables in this case. I have created statement, which is class statement. In class statement, we have execute query. Now in prepared statement, we have execute update. Is it clear? So we are talking about 2 different classes, 2 different things. By the way, as I said, both can solve your problem. Even statement can do it, but it's a headache. I have shown it to you. Ideally, you are right. We use a statement, اللي هي execute query generally with select. And that's what I did even in this lab. You will see. Because it's easy. I don't have so many things to define. So I use a statement with select and prepared statement with other SQL queries, and this is my personal choice. You can do other things if you want. Yes, tell me.
Madam, we don't need to assign a variable to execute that update when we are dealing with a normal statement, right?
No. Good question. No, because I have already defined statement.setString 1 and can you see here from the beginning with connection? Con.prepare statement, I give it my SQL from the very beginning. Thank you. Good question. Yes. So this is another difference with the statement and prepared statement. So I believe the add is clear. Yes, tell me.
Can you repeat what you just said, please?
To her question? In her
Yeah.
question. Okay, let's go to the slide so it will be more clear for you. Can you see here in statement, Mahush prepared statement, how did we create the statement? Simply, I don't give it SQL. Can you see the difference here? Now, when I created my prepared statement, conduct.prepare statement, what did I give to it? SQL. However, sorry, let me continue. However, when I execute update, will update statement, I don't give the SQL because I already give to it, which is the opposite in statement. I don't give it at the beginning. However, when I execute query, I need to give it. So that's the difference. Is it clear?
Yes, it is.
Also, miss, we don't with normal statements, manamush count is equal to stmt.
No, it does not return the number of affected. No, yes.
We just write the function as it is.
Yes. Move to another thing, which is modify. Clear about add? I guess it is. Now, if add is clear, modify will be a piece of cake. So let's go to modify because you now understand the concept. Now we have this, of course, as I said all the time, we have try because we need to catch. Of course, here catch SQL exception error, and then you print whatever error you have, you want to print. Now, in the try, what shall we do? Again, I need to make sure that it's not empty. Now, I will read again the ID, the first name, the last name, and the age as usual. And then the only difference here, I will use a different SQL query, which is update. So you know how to write update query, I guess. So update the name of your table, then set the column name equal to question mark in this case, L name, question mark, age, question mark, where, what? What is my criteria in this case? ID, because I will search according to my ID. I have created this one, right? So let me put another name for this one. I will put what? Like this, whatever. And then the last name. And then the age, let's make it 20. So let me do modify. The record was updated successfully. So in this case, it has searched search for this person according to the ID, and then it has updated all of these fields. So update data. Then I have created a preferred statement. I give it the SQL, which is this one, and then I set the first string to the first name, last name, age, and ID. Make sure that you put the proper order, okay? So you need to understand the SQL query. In this case, I need to pass to the first one what, guys? Arish. What I will pass? First name, thank you. For the second one, I will pass last name. For the third one, age. For the last one, which is my criteria, I need to pass the ID. Now the same thing, I will execute the preferred statement. If it returns something which is not 0, ideally, maybe 1. Yes, it should be 1 because my ID is unique. It should be 1, not more than that. So you may put, instead of greater than 0, you could put equals to 1. So if it's equal to 1, everything is perfect. The record was updated successfully. Else, you write what? No record was found with the given ID, right? إذا أعطيته الاي وما عمليش أي تعديل شو معناها؟ معناها he couldn't find it. So in this case, I will display to the user the ID was not found. Now, this is else related to the first if statement. All fields are mandatory. In this case, you may do another thing. Modify. Let's go to the delete. Something very similar. So in this case, I will delete according to what? According to the ID only. So I don't need a lot of information. In this case, let me do something. So I will delete. I could put those information, but I don't care. If you put it or you don't put them, I don't care. Because I will do the search according to the ID. So in this case, I will delete this record, which is ID 87. So I will go to delete. The user was deleted successfully. Later, I will go to the database. Let me go now. View data. So here we are. Let me see. Do I have that one? No, I don't have 87. So it was deleted perfectly. Good. So let me turn back to here. Now in delete, I will take the ID, parse it. Don't forget because it's integer. Of course, I have the count again. Then I have my SQL query, delete from users where ID equal to question mark again. Then I am calling preferred statement, give to it the SQL. Then I'm setting this integer to ID because I need only one value, which is the ID value. Then preferred statement dot execute update. Now if count is greater than 0, then one item was deleted. It could the user was deleted successfully. Else the user was not found. So we still have list. Good. Now this is a new thing. Now this is different from what we did. So what I need to do in list, I've got list. No, why did I go to update? What's this? No, because I am in the wrong place. I am up. Can you see? Okay, that's one. I was shocked. Why did I have that one at the statement? Good. So you will see it and then we'll explain. So I will go to list. Now a list will go to another JFrame that has this table. In this table, I will show the ID, first name, last name, and age, and these information. Okay. So how did we? Oops, I closed the whole thing. It's okay. How did we do this? Now I created another class, graphical user interface. I give it name listf. Can you see listf.java? Now I will go to the details later, but now. So in order to move, this is very important, and you will need it in project. In order to move from one graphical user to another, what we need to do, we need to create an instance or an object from that and from the other graphical user interface, which is in this case listf. So I will do listf frame equal new listf. Then I will do simple thing. Can you see this object name? It can be anything. In this case, I'm using frame. So I will do frame.setVisible equal to true. So this will show the other frame that I want to show. Clear, guys? This is very important. Now, let me move to this JFrame. So in this case, I have created a normal JFrame and I have added here a table. So, table, thank you. Yes. So this is the one. Just drag and drop, of course. So you'll have something like this. You could, as I said, change the design. You could look. I remove this. So you could play with it. In this case, I have did it as simple as I did nothing. It's black, no format, nothing. But you may do something else. Now this is not the idea about the format. You can change it. Let's go to the code. So here we are. Of course, I have created a table with 4 columns. This is you need to specify, yeah. So you need to choose from the setting here how many columns you wanna specify. Then let's go to the source. Here we are. So let's go from the very beginning. So this one, we have, this is the constructor. Now inside the constructor, I have also created a method. But now in this time, it's not only about connecting to database only. It will connect to database, of course. I need to connect, but also I name it fill JTable. لأنه, can you see here in this, in my design, I don't have any button. So what is the goal here? Whenever this graphical user interface will be loaded, it will be loaded with the information directly. So I don't need to press anything. That's why I put it inside my constructor, the method call. Is it clear? Very important. لأنه in this case, I want whenever this graphical user interface is loaded, it will be filled with information. So I created something called fill JTable that is called inside my constructor. And let's see the details for this. There is a default table model. Why do we need this one? This one will control the headers and the content of my table. Because can you see here the header of my table? It's nothing. It's 31, 30. This is default value. I don't need to use the default values. I need to manipulate it. In order to manipulate it, we use something called default table model. Then we need to create the column names. So this is, we create them of type object. So object column names. And then in this case, how many columns do we have? 4, right? So I am creating column names of size 4. For each one, I will give it the header. So we are here in the list. So I will show you when I press list what will happen. Can you see here? I have the headers, names. I have ID, first name, last name, age, which are the names that I have put in here. So whatever you enter here in the column names, it will be displayed as column name. Then, what about the content of my table? In this case, I will use model, which is this one, the object of default table model. Then set column identifiers. This will take this array and it will design the names of your with the database and then username and the password, and then we'll be creating the statement. Now I will use simple statement, not preferred statement, because I will do only select, which is a simple query. So I will do as it was explained in the PowerPoint presentation, select star from name of your table and then statement just execute query in this case, and I will give it SQL. It will return a result set, which is kind of a table. Now, again, the same thing, I will do a while loop, s.next, it will, in order to go from one row to another. Then, in order to specify the column, then I will use rs.getIn, the ID, which is the column name in my table, in my database. And then for the first name, I'll do the same thing. For last name, I will. Okay, so I will go through my rows, and then I will get the content of each column. Why do I need this? Because I need to add a row. In order to add a row, I need to have the content of those values. So I will get the I am now, assume I am now in the first row. So let me go to my database so you may understand. So I am here. I have ID equal 888. The name is Manal. Then this is the last name and this is the age. Okay. So when I do rs.getNext, so it will take me to the first one. I will get the first ID, the first name, first last name, and first age. So I will create a row of type object. It has those information as objects. They are mixture of integer and string. So I will define it as an object, which is the default value for add row. Add row, it will take an array of objects, which is, in this case, I name it as row. I will put in it the information ID, first name, last name, and age, those variables that I have created. Then I will do model.add row. The model is the first one that I have created, which is default table model. By the way, in Java, we have different table models. I'm using the default one, the easiest one, but there are other models to deal with the table. Then, after retrieving all of this information, add row, add row, add row, add row, then at the end of the day, I need to specify the model that I'm using. So in this case, JTable1 is the name of my table. So as you can see here, this is JTable1. So I did not rename it. So this is the name of my item. It's JTable1. So I'm telling Java, the model I'm using for this table is model, which is default table model. Good.
تمشي هنا في for example عندي database هذه فما dependencies هذه تعمل add dependency هنا في الاي دي تعمل اي حكايه في الجروب اي دي وارتيفاكت اي دي زاد تعمل اي حاجه الفيرجن زاد اي حكايه تحطها وتعمل add.
يا اخي هذه كلاس
لا انا باش
دربي كلاينت ابارامون جار
اي على دربي كلاينت
درايف.
بعد هيك اللي عمرت توش يجيك هنا هذوما اللي انا حطيتهم
اللي هي الثانية توا.
اي هيك لحظه بعد نستناها لين تجي بعد
وتتحلك بعد GDBC وحدها ولا لازم تعمل
شفت بعد انا بعد انت اللي باش تجوتيه باش يجيك غادي هنا تعمل انستال مانيولي انستال ارتيفاكت
جاتك راي ديجا هيك الكاكا اللي عملت انت تورا
هاي هذيك
باهي.
It's okay. Choose this one, whatever.
باهي
تعمل هنا براوز باش تلوج على الدربي كلاينت هو موجود في البي سي لقيته.
وشنو GDK نتاعك 11 زادا؟
Good question.
اي 11 انا الدربي كلاينت نتاعي في وين
Supposed to be in program files. You installed Glassfish then.
فوالا لازم تكون انستالي.
You installed Glassfish. Who's this? Ilham, I believe. No, you installed Glassfish. Okay, I see. It comes.
انا كيف عملت ستارت سيرفر جاتني وحدها معناتها اوبسيون باش نستاليه.
I see. But you did install it. I see. Now I understand. Okay.
في الليب نورمالمون ليب فما جلاس فيش وبعد في شيء اسمه ليب.
انا نزلت الغلط.
Just go up here. No.
اي بعد نعرفهم لي زيتاب واضح. ميرسي.
اي بعد وتعمل انستال مانيولي وتصير لك الكونيكسيون عاديه.
بكاية تتحل واضح. نجربها. يعيشك.
Thank you. Thank you, Ilham. Okay.
Thank you.
نحي بارتاج.
Yes. That's all. Thank you. So you could do Glassfish. So that's what was one of the options. Whoever sent emails for me, I tell them install Glassfish. If it did not work for you, just go to the previous version. So, okay. Now, hopefully, you all will be able to create databases and get connection. So let me start by solving the lab with you, inshallah.